Welcome to the Pantheon, where today we're having a look at the Dungeons and Dragons set, and it's the big, beefy beastie. It's the Tarrasque. I think that's how you say it. 9 mana for a 10/10 dinosaur. How old? It has haste and ward 10, as long as it was cast. Now, personally, I wish that was some kind of counter, because, you know, it can become confusing in Commander. You know, have you cast this, have you not? Some kind of way of differentiating it would have been nice. Whenever the Tarrasque attacks, it fights target creature defending player controls. Really quite a cool ability. You know, everyone likes a good fight. You know, a bit of scrap. Everyone's rolling around, punching each other. You know, gouging at people's eyes, ripping the nostrils out. But here we're talking about fantasy violence. You know, with this big dinosaur who steamrolls in and kills people. Very, very nice. And who doesn't like that? But 9 mana is a lot. Can we make it work? Well, I think we can, yeah. Really cool creature. I think this is one of the big bad sort of things in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. But I've heard that it's quite the imposing force. So hopefully we can make it so in this as well. If you like these videos, please do subscribe. I'm going to make tons more like this, and I'm working on a couple of other things that hopefully you'll like as well. Without further ado, let's have a look at some cards for Tarrasque. In at number 5, we've got Bear Umbra. So we want to be attacking and getting, you know, in there. And this is a great card for that. And it also protects our commander. Yes, our commander will have ward 10, but giving it totem armor is fantastic as well. 4 mana for an aura enchant creature. Enchanted creature has +2/+2 and has, whenever this creature attacks, untap all lands you control, which gives us essentially another turn. You know, we attack, no, stop. First main phase, we cast all of our spells. Then we attack with a creature that has this on it. We untap everything. We've got another main phase. We can play all our spells again. And then totem armor means if enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. Really, really nice, excellent effect, and exactly what our commander wants to be doing. Which brings me on to another couple of on-attack triggers. Like, this is really sort of the core of this deck, I feel, you know. The Tarrasque wants to attack, so why don't we do it? Again, to mana, 6 mana for an equipment. A quick creature gets +6/+6, so we can have a 16/16 Tarrasque. Whenever a quick creature attacks, destroy target permanent and equip for 6. So really expensive, but it's excellent removal. Green isn't really renowned for its removal, but this is a nice way of sort of working with it. Then we've got Beastmaster's Ascension. 3 mana for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a quest counter on Beastmaster's Ascension. As long as it has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5. So that's really nice. You know, we're going to be playing some smaller creatures, you know, maybe some mana dark, stuff like that. And in between, you know, being able to cast the Tarrasque, we can just swing in, get a couple of counters, hopefully buff them all up, and then the Tarrasque can come in and be absolutely colossal. Then we've got Stonehoof Chieftain. 8 mana for an 8/8 with trample and indestructible. Whenever another creature you control attacks, it gains trample and indestructible until end of turn. So that's really good, because we could then fight something that is also a 10/10. You know, if there is something out there that's another 10/10, you can fight it. Our commander will survive and keep swinging in for damage, which is good. And it just works with every single creature we have. And just having a trampling indestructible 8/8, not too bad. I've done it a couple of times myself. Highly recommended it. Then another couple of on-attack triggers. Elder Gargaroth, 5 mana for a 6/6 with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. When it attacks all blocks, choose one, get a 3/3 beast, gain 3 life, draw a card. 2 of them are good, in my opinion. I'll let you decide which one isn't. Drawing cards, terrible. Then there's Pathbreaker Ibex, 6 mana for a 3/3. Whenever it attacks, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So if the Tarrasque is on the field and has haste, we can play this the turn before or something like that. Come in with the Tarrasque, swing in, everything's getting +10/+10, and trample. Really nice, so our commander would be a 20/20. That's pretty goddamn good. Then we've got Toski, Bearer of Secrets, 4 mana for a 1/1. Ooh, nice. Can't be countered, it's indestructible, and when it attacks each combat fable. So, but there's more. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Really, really nice. If you're going wide and you just have a couple of creatures knocking about, likelihood is you're going to be able to swing through and get some damage. And the Tarrasque can swing in, deal with a blocker, and then get in for a ton of damage. Which brings me on to my number 4 pick. And at number 4, we've got Corrosion Drover. 4 mana for an elf. Creature spells you play with converted mana cost 6 or more cost 2 less to play. Now, the Tarrasque is 9 mana, which is pretty terrible. I just saw the flavor text there. Sid. It's a 2/2. The Tarrasque costs a lot of mana, 9 mana, so this helps us. It reduces it to 7, which is still a lot, but there's a couple of other cost reductions that we can use. Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma. 4 mana for a 4/3. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast. So again, our commander has a lot of power, so it'll be reduced by this. We can make it 5 mana. Then, when it attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Really nice with our commander again, and we're going to get through trample, bing, wah, shoo, blah, something like that. Then we've got Nylea Keen-Eyed. 4 mana for a 5/6, indestructible. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5, Nylea isn't a creature. Creature spells you cost 1 less to cast, so our commander now costs 4 if we have all of these. Then you can pay 3, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it into your graveyard. So nice deck filtering, you know, if you've got lots of mana, which green tends to, we can get through our deck, draw a bunch of creatures, just mill the stuff that we don't want. Then we've got Cloud Key, 3 mana for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, or sorcery. Spells you cast to the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. So if we choose creature, our commander now costs 3. By God, somebody stop me. And that is the limit. But here's another couple of ways that we can reduce costs of creatures. Centaur Omen Reader, 4 mana for a 3/3 Centaur Shaman. It's a snow creature. It's covered in lots of white. It's like dandruff. It's like a nightmarish dandruff. Anyway, as long as Centaur Omen Reader is tapped, creature spells you play cost 2 less to cast. So that's pretty nice, you know. We can tap it in a number of ways. Maybe you're playing a couple of vehicles, or maybe you've just attacked and play it post-combat. Not great with Tarrasque, admittedly, because it's, you know, you want to attack. Conduit of Ruin, 6 mana for an Eldrazi. When you cast it, you may search your library for a close creature card with converted mana cost 7 or greater, reveal it, shuffle your library, put that card on top. And the first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. An excellent little reduction there. And tutoring for a big Eldrazi or colourless creature, it's always going to be good. You know, the Eldrazi, some of those powerful creatures in Magic. So do it. And we're going to reduce our commander as well. Then we've got Urza's Incubator, 3 mana for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to cast. So our commander is a dinosaur. Is that a theme that I'm going to talk about in a bit? Might be. Maybe. Is it? At number 3? No, it's not. Damn, that segue seemed like it was going to be so good. But there's a picture of a dinosaur on Primal Might. 1 green and X for a sorcery. Target creature control gets +X/+X until end of turn and fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. This section is all about fighting, you know, just scrapping, getting down and dirty, you know, knuckle dusters, smashing people's faces in. And why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? You know, I'm a dangerous man. I'm not really. I'm pretty weak. Kalini Ambush, 3 mana for an instant. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. And on the other side of it, it's a land. So this is excellent because when you need a land, you need a land. So play it as a land. When you need a fight, well, play it as a fight. This is the power. And what an explanation that was. I couldn't say it more clearly. Then we've got Azuri's Predation, which, you know, is a sort of fight spell. 8 mana for a sorcery. For each creature your opponents control, creates a 4/4 green beast creature token. Each of those beasts fights a different one of those creatures. So if our opponents have tons of little tokens, this is going to create a massive amount of beasts. We're going to fight them all, kill them all, and we've just got a massive army left over. Really, really nice card. And then here's the other side of Kalini Ambush. I don't know why I've set it up like this, but there it is. I've messed it up. It's Kalini territory. It ends the battlefield tapped, adds a green. And you've got a lovely, you know, calm looking tiger thing in the background with big horns coming out of its feet. Which brings me on to my number 2 pick. And rah! It's dinosaurs! Savage Stomp. 3 mana for a sorcery. Spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a dinosaur you control. Dinosaurs? Who would have thought that might be included here? Put a 1/1 counter attack creature control. Then that creature fights tag creature you don't control. So nice little buff, nice bit of removal. Fighting, always good as we talked about. I love the big dinosaur, the one that's sort of like coming in from the side. His feet look like little thumbs, like stubby little thumbs. He's like, ooh, trying to pick up a fork or something like that with his thumbs. Oh God, what am I doing? Regal Behemoth, 6 mana for a 5/5 lizard. It's been errated. It's now a dinosaur. And what a dinosaur it is. Really helps with our commander getting him out early because it doubles our mana. It's trample 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, become the monarch. The monarch means at the end of your turn, you draw a card. But if someone deals combat damage to you, they become the monarch. You just move it around over and over again. Whenever you attack a land for mana while you're the monarch, add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool. So doubles all of your lands. Absolutely amazing. Great, great dinosaur. Then we've got Runic Armosaur. I was not hot on this card, but I've played it a bit, and it's really, really good. You know, you can end up drawing tons of cards. 3 mana for a 2/5. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card. So you can forget it. You know, your opponent's going to go, oh, well, you should have been paying attention. So make sure you are paying attention because opponents do activate quite a lot of abilities of creatures, you know. It's just good. It's just outright good. Speaking of which, we got Galta Primal Hunger. 12 mana for a 12/12. It costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. And it has trample. So if we just had the Tarrasque on the field, this would cost us 2 green. Excellent. Absolutely fantastic. It's a big old dinosaur. Do we need to say any more? Well, Apex Altisaur has something else to say. Actually, is that the dinosaur that was fighting the thumb dinosaur? I think it is. It's got like the plumage on it. Very cool. 9 mana for a 10/10 dinosaur. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. And it's got Enrage. Whenever it is dealt damage, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So it comes in, fights until it dies or everything else dies. Absolutely fantastic and really, really cool. If anyone blocks it, then it gets to fight something else. Really good. Works excellently with the theme of the deck. Then we've got an old Annoyed Altisaur. 7 mana for a 6/5 with Reach and Trample. Has Cascade, so when you cast this spell, exile the top cards until you reveal something lesser costing, and you may cast it for free. Really, really good. It's eating a sort of banshee thing. Anyway, Gigantosaurus. 5 green for a 10/10. It's a dinosaur. Yeah. Yeah. Brings me on to my number 1 pick, and at number 1, well, it's Rishkar's Expertise. 6 mana for a sorcery. Draw cards equals the greatest power among creatures you control. You may cast a card with convert mana cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Excellent. You know, we're going to have a lot of big, beefy boys. Why don't we draw tons of cards from them? And, you know, this is the theme of this section. And we get to cheat something into play. Just, we're going to have big creatures. Especially if our commander's being cast, it gets ward, so it's got protection. Excellent. Absolutely fantastic. And the Great Henge works excellently with this as well. 9 mana for a legendary artifact. Spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap it to add double green, and you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter and you draw a card. So excellent. Yes, dinosaurs cost a lot in general, so we're not going to get too much advantage from casting all of those creatures, drawing the cards. But we will get some, and that's the main thing. Great to good, 4 mana. Enchantment, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power, then discard 3 cards. This is good, you know, if you see a board wipe coming, sacrifice your big dudes, draw tons of cards, refill so you can cast all your creatures afterwards. And it's just good, clean magic, which is not what we can say for this man here, just covered in sort of like horrible leech-like spores, a bit like my friend Dave, you know, barely washes. Emrakul the Promised End, 13 mana for a 13/13 Eldrazi. So this is one of the things we could fetch up with the 6 mana Eldrazi tutor thing. When it costs 1 less to cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard. When you cast it, gain control of target opponent during their control's next turn. After that turn, that player takes an extra turn. It's got Flying, Trample, Protection from instants. Taking somebody's turn, it's the best feeling in the world. It's incredible. And they will be so miserable. And that's what makes it even better, to be quite honest with you. I love it. Then, another couple of ways to draw cards from our big dudes. We've got Garruk Primal Hunter. 5 mana for a 3 Lords of Planeswalker. Can plus it to get a beast. -3, which is what we want. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. We're going to have a lot of big creatures. We're going to draw tons of cards. And if we somehow manage to keep him around for long enough, -6, creates a 6/6 green worm creature token for each land you control. And you're playing green. You can have a fair number of lands, I think. Then we got Return of the Wild Speaker. 5 mana for an instant. Choose 1. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. Alright, I don't like humans anyway. Then non-human creatures you control get +3/3 until end of turn. It's a nice little way of pushing through a ton of damage. Works great on both modes, and it's an instant, which, if someone's pointing a removal spell at a commander or something, and they've paid the 10 additional mana, you can draw a ton of cards before it dies. Then we've got Soul's Majesty. 5 mana for a sorcery. Draw cards equal to the power of target creature you control. Someone was just knocking on the wall. Let's wrap this up before I get murdered. Really, really nice. Not as good as anything because you do need to target, but with the protection our commander has, pretty decent. And those are my top 5 cards for the Tarrasque. Really cool creature. Excellent. Nice bit of fight action. I love it. It's really, really cool. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.